Hey everyone, in this video we will be integrating our authentication backend with our front end. So under a previous video, we have built a login of our entire application. So let me debug the entire thing. Right, so in this video we will be adding the authentication thing. So what I can do, here you can see I got my authentication tab. Under my authentication tab you can see there is nothing because there are no users available. So we will be integrating our authentication thing with our front end that of our Flutter. Right. So first of all, under my settings, you can see I have you have to disable the email confirmations. Right. So you can see I have disabled the email confirmation. Now what is happening here? For having the email confirmation thing, you have to have your own server. Right. So it will be like once the user will be signing up, you need to confirm the email by touching a particular URL. And for that purpose, you need to have your own server. Now for currently, we don't have that server available because it is simply a basic tutorial. Other than that, everything is good to go. So what I'll do, here you can see I got my Blue Development running, which has nothing but simply the boilerplate application that we have designed so far. So what I'll do, first of all, you need to go under the settings tab, and under settings tab, go under API. And from the API, you need to get the following public key and also the particular URL. What I'll do, I'll copy the URL. And yeah, so what I can do, we can go under my app folder, and here I will be creating a folder for credentials, right? So I'll say all the credentials will be stored here. So first of all, we need Supabase credentials. Where I'll say Supabase credentials.dart. Right. So these are all the credentials. Here what I'll do. All right. So let's minimize everything. And yeah. So what I'll do here, I will be getting a simple class known as Supabase credentials. Right. Under these credentials class, we'll be adding all of our credentials. So under credentials, first of all, we shall be requiring a static key, that is our public key. So here I will be writing a new string, which will be a API key. You can get any sort of name, and also we will be requiring the URL. So the same thing, static const string, and it will be API URL. Right. So here I have copied the URL, so I can paste it here. Also, what I can do, so I am opening Chrome again. So we can copy the URL as well and add this thing here. Right. So this is our both of the following things, that is our and URL. Now what I'll do, here I will be getting a new client of my Supabase. So I'll say static Supabase client. For a Supabase client to be equal to Supabase client, and under this you need to add your API key and also that is the URL and also the key. So here you can see first of all it will be requiring a URL, so you can copy and paste a URL, and after that our API key. Right. So this should be all for now. This is our Supabase client. With the help of this client, we should be able to perform all the operations. So first of all, what we can do, we can get rid of our app folder, and under services, I will be creating a new file known as supabase.service.dart. Right. So here I will be creating a new service class. So it will be, let's say authentication service, not a Supabase service. Or it will be like decoding entire thing differently. That is, if I have my authentication, that is my database thing, I will be creating a new thing, that is my features over all the database. And under the case of authentication, a service for basically for authentication. Right. So here I will be creating authentication service. Authentication service. Right. So these are authentication service. Under this, first of all, we will have a future method which will be returning as nothing. So I can denote it void. And here I will be adding a new method for sign up. Right. Our sign up will be requiring two things: email and password. Right. So here I'll say new required string. Right. New required string for email, and also same thing for a password. Right. So here I'll say password. This process will be asynchronous. So here we can denote our method to be asynchronous. Right. So what I can do, we can get a new response. So this response will be equal to await Supabase credentials. And from that I can have a Supabase client. And after that I can say auth.sign up. Right. We have to sign up. So I'll say sign up. So this should be it for now. We have Supabase client and sign up method. Right. So the response will be a type of go to sessions response. So we can denote a type here. Right. So let's import it as well. Yeah. So we have got a response as well. So what we can do, we can first of all print our response. So what I'll do, the following response object will be giving us various things. First of all, data, error, URL, and etc. So first of all, we'll check whether the error exists or not. Right. So here I'll say if the error is not equal to null, or if I say if the error is null. Yeah, so let's go to positive side. We can say if the error is null, what I'll do, I'll say we'll print the user email of the logged user. What I'll do, here I'll say user email should be equal to response dot data. From the data I can say user, and from the user we can have the user email, right? So here it will be a nullable string, so I can denote it to be a nullable, and also we can add a like a null safety issue, right? So you can say the following user email is equal to, from the data of the response from the user, it is equal to user email. Also I can say print a new statement, and here I'll say a statement of login successful, right? Login successful, right? We are doing sign up, right? So I can say sign up successful, and yeah, sign up successful for the user. So we can remove this stuff from this side and add it here, and we can say for this user email, right? So if you got this, else what you can do, I can say print the entire error. So I'll say response dot error dot message, right? So I can also say the error here is not equal to null, and I can say error like sign up is not successful. So what we can do, can copy this, and here I'll say let's say sign up error, and the value of it will be this error, right? This error. Let's add a dollar quotation. Easy. So you can see under my sign up process, I got my response to be auth.signup, and also I got my entire response. Alright, so this should be it for sign up process. The login process is exactly the same. So I can copy and paste it here, and here I'll say login. Right. Now there is also a method for sign in. We can say sign in. The sign in method will be not requiring a user email. So what I can do, it will be requiring required parameters, right? String, email, and phone, and also password and etc. What I'll do, I'll say email should be equal to email, and also some password for equal to password. Right. Now it will also giving some options. So I'll say auth options, and under auth options you can see it will be something redirect to, and under redirect to, what we can do under production mode, I can say Supabase credentials dot API URL, right? So it will be hitting the particular API URL. Now the entire thing is exactly the same. If the response of our error is equal to null, we'll be printing up the login. So I'll say login successful for the user email, else we'll say login error, right? Easy things. So our entire method is created. I can see it will be of a type of string. So instead of void to be void, that is future to be void, we can denote it to be a string, which will be a nullable, right? So this should be it. After this thing, what I'll do, remember in our previous tutorial we have created our authentication notifier. What we will do, we will be creating some boilerplate methods under that class, that is the notifier as well. So that our notifier will be connecting our domain, that is our service, with our UI. So what I'll do, I'll copy the particular piece of line and paste it here. It will be asynchronous and asynchronous. So what I'll do, first of all, we will be taking the response from our authentication service. Here I'll say final authentication service, for authentication service equal to a new instance of authentication service, right? So here what I'll do, we can say a variable response for now should be equal to await authentication service dot sign up, right? Because we are signing up, right? So we have to do nothing here, so I can simply await for it. Also we can add a trackage block, so I can say track the particular thing. We got some error, print it. So I'll say print e, right? Now you can do the same thing for our login process, where I'll say login, and yeah, this should be same, and await block, right? So this should be our entire thing. Now we just need to integrate our notifier with our front end. So first of all, let's try it for sign up method. So let's go under sign up thing. Yeah. So what I'll do, let's go under our sign up block, sign up view, and first of all, let's take a new instance of the notifier, right? So here I'll say final authentication notifier, right? Authentication notifier, for authentication notifier equal to instance of provider. So I'll say provider, not a create, but context of provider, and the context will be from our authentication notifier. Where is it? Authentication notifier, and here we are simply listening to values. So I'll say listen to be false. If you need to render the UI, you have to make the following listen property to be true. So I'll take the authentication notifier, and yeah, so where is our sign up button? Yeah, so here I'll say first of all we need to take up the string for email should be equal to email controller dot text. Similarly, I'll do it same for password. So I'll say password controller dot text for a password, Now here, what we can do, we can add some snack bar thing if the particular things are empty of our text fields. So I'll say if email is not empty and also password, right? Not password control, but password is not empty. What we can do, we can carry out a process. So here I'll say not await, but authentication notifier dot sign up. So this should be our entire thing for sign up and sign up. We can also make it asynchronous and we need to await for our sign up method. So we can do the same thing here. If the thing is null, if the email or password is null, we can show a snack bar. So I'll say scaffold messenger, and here I'll say from the to snack bar something, yeah, to snack bar, and the content will be nothing but simply a text of fill in the values. You can have more thing here, but I'll go from the basics where I'll say fill, right, fill the credentials. I'm really bad at spellings, so I'll say fill the credentials. Right, so this should be it for our sign up method. We can copy the same thing and paste it under our login method. So I'll go under my login view, and you can see I got my login button here and paste everything here. Let's make this process to be async, right? Async, and we can copy our sign up, that is our provider, right, and paste it here. Let's import everything. So let's import. Yeah, so this should be it for entire thing. So let's test it out. So first of all, let's create a new account. So here I'll be creating a new account, and yeah, let's also add some password. Let's open our terminal. To clear your terminal, you have to use the following button, which is hidden here. So let me maximize it. Yeah. So let's try to sign up. Alright, so you can see sign up is successful and the email is abhishek@gmail.com. So if I go back under my general thing, not general but authentication thing, under email, you can see I got an email of abhishek@gmail.com. Also, we'll be getting some ID, the last sign in, also creation date. Right. So now let's try to sign up with the same credentials. So I can go under sign up thing, and yeah. So what we can do, we need to convert the sign up under login one. Right. So let's make it login. If I tap here, you can see I'll be getting the following thing of fill the credentials. Right. So here I'll say Abhishek. Also, first of all, if you check the particular last sign in is for 320. Right. So if I sign up now, let's try to sign up. Let's have a different credentials, not say different but same credential. Let's try to log in. All right, so login successful and a particular user email. If I go back and if I refresh everything, the time should be changing. It should be, might be 21 for now. All right, it is 21, right, because we have last sign in to be at 321. So this is all about login and sign up. Now if I try to write a wrong password and if I log in, you can see it will be saying login error, invalid email or password. What we can also do, we can show the particular error under a snack bar. So let's carry out that process. So we can go under our service. So here I'll say authentication service. So we can display the particular error, right? So what I'll do here, we need to add a new scaffold messenger. But before that, we need to also give it a new context. So I'll say build context, not a bucket, but build context for a context. Copy that thing, and also we need under login thing. Right, so I can go under the login view for now. Login view, and yeah, I can copy the entire scaffold. It is my snack bar. So this should be it. So let's import our material. Right. So under the error, what we'll do? We'll show the error. Obviously, we'll be showing the error. So let's say sign up, and so here we are getting an error. So what I'll do, let's open our curly braces and we can say response dot error dot message. Right, now we can do the same thing under the case of sign up. Right, so what I'll do, I'll copy this thing. So failed, and yeah. So we are showing the errors, and we can do this, we can do the same thing under the case of login. Right, so here I'll say login successful, right, login successful and login failed. So we need to also provide the context here, that is our build context for a required, build context for a context. Also remove the backslash. So let's have here a comma, and yeah, so let's say context for a context. Can do the same thing here. Simply some repetitive process. So let's say context, and yeah, context for a context. So this should be it. Now we need to provide the context under our login and sign up. So here I'll say context for a context. Similarly under login, context for a context. So let's try to login one more time. And you can see login email failed because we have a wrong password. If I try to login one more time, you can see login successful and my user email. We can also show the particular user ID instead of user email, because at the end we'll be like displaying the user ID itself. So I'll say of this, I'll say user dot there should be a user ID, yeah, ID, and also under the case of, yeah, you guess it right, under the case of login. So let's try to login. You can see we'll be getting our ID here, and also if I try to sign up, so here if I try to sign up with the same username, I will be getting somewhat different response. So I'll say different response of Abhishek. Let's try to sign up. You can see thanks for registering, sign up failed. So because we have already registered and we cannot register again one more time, right? So if I say here 1 and if I sign up, you can see sign up successful and we'll be getting our response. If I go back and if I say Abhishek1 at gmail.com and also the same password, and if I try to log in, you can see login successful and the user ID. If I go back here and if I refresh everything, we will be getting two different users. First of all, it will be our Abhishek at gmail.com and Abhishek1 at gmail.com. So I guess we should keep it all for today. We have integrated our login thing under Supabase and Flutter. In the next one, we will be also taking a look over phone authentication. Yeah, phone authentication and also some OAuth providers. Right, till then, if you have loved this tutorial, hit that like button and also follow me somewhere at the Instagram here. And I'll see you in the next one.